What is up, guys? So, real quick, I'm about to leave for a trip. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is, I've never talked about what I use in my office. Now, this isn't going to be a huge bag video. I'm not going to do a review on any of these because I'm not that smart. But one of the things I've never talked about is how I get my work done. So, that being said, I really want to share with you guys how I get my job done as a youth pastor, and also what I use to edit videos. So first things first, let's talk about my main everyday user and what goes along with it. So my main driver, I normally just use a laptop, right? So I use a MacBook Air from roughly, I want to say it was 2014, 2013. So it's decently old as far as tech goes, but it still really gets the job done. Still pretty quick. I have some fun little stickers just to like, two of them, the mustache and then the vinyl addict, my wife made me, and then I have some stickers from my favorite restaurant. But that's my main everyday driver, and I normally pair that up with just a cheap mouse pad, so I'm not going to pull out. But I use a WD, my Passport, as my hard drive. So if any of you guys are familiar with Apple, normally, let's be honest, the memory on them kind of runs out pretty quick. But for files and stuff like that, I use my WD, my Passport. I got the 1 terabyte one. I'm not even close. I've had it for at least 3 years now, and I'm not even close to filling it up. But I teamed that up, and again, I got my assistant to the regional manager sticker on there. I like to personalize a lot of my stuff. And then I pair that up with the Apple Magic Mouse. If you're not familiar with it, it's really just a mouse that pairs with Apple. When we bought our iMac that's downstairs, we got one, and so now I just take this everywhere with me. So that's my main everyday user. That's what I normally use. I normally just use the laptop. It's been my go-to since 2014. It works. I don't do a ton. I literally edit my videos. We record our podcast on it. And then I also do my day-to-day research and studying and stuff like that on it. But just like everybody else, with COVID, it's thrown a wrench in what I do. Here's why. Now my beautiful, lovely, amazing wife works from home. Because of that, she needs this computer to do her job. So honestly, over the last 4 months, I've been using either my phone to do research or this little Dell that my mom had given me, and I really wanted to pick something else up that would fill that in. Okay, so that being said, real quick, I didn't think about telling you guys this. So there's a lot that goes into my job as far as recording, editing, all that kind of stuff. Now, the church lets me use equipment. They have a Canon Rebel EOS that I use, and then a Mavic Mini 2 that I use for a lot of that stuff. But other than that, everything editing-wise is done on my computer. The majority of my job involves study, communication, and then writing out lessons and sermons. That's the main stuff that I use tech for. The other stuff is all like boots on the ground stuff. But that being said, let's show you what I'm using today that I just picked up recently to fill this being gone most of the time. So, first things first, I use a phone. Now I'm recording with my phone. My phone records in 4K. I get better video quality from it. I have a rig for it and that kind of stuff. So my case is going to symbolize my phone. I use the iPhone 11 Pro Max. One, I like big phones just if I'm doing any type of gaming with teenagers on my phone, whether it be COD Mobile or PUBG we used to do all the time. I like to be able to have a big screen because I got fat thumbs, so it just makes sense to have a bigger screen. Also, that being said, if I need to edit videos on the go, I can do it with my phone. And like I said, the cameras and the recording is just really good on this specific device, and that's why I went for it. Plus, size matters, and mine's bigger. So that's the phone that I use. Not that you guys really care about that, but it's important. And honestly, being a pastor, my phone has to be working all the time. So for me, I feel most comfortable knowing that I have a solid device all the time that will work no matter what. Now, to round out my day-to-day workflow when I can't use my laptop, obviously this screen just is not big enough to do workflow throughout the day. It hurts my head, it gets really annoying, it's just irritating altogether. So I picked up the iPad Generation 8. Now I was going to get the Pro, but the problem with the Pro is, why am I trying to get a huge, ginormous, like something to replace my computer when I just need something to go alongside of it? So I was dead set on that, and then I called around. People had this, like they had the 8th gen and they didn't have the Pros. So I did some research and was like, wow, with the A12 chip that's in here, it's just an amazing processor that gives me a good amount of speed and really gets the job done. Again, recently I edited a video on here. It's super easy, super simple to use. And then I know that probably watching this, you're like, man, he's an Apple fanboy. Honestly, I'm not. All the products I use are Apple, but the reason for that, it all stems from buying this laptop and the iMac. When I bought those, I had a Samsung Note 10, I think. No, it would have been the Note 4, sorry. I had a Samsung Note 4, and it was so complicated to get it to go there. I know, Apple's a jerk, but having all my devices that just communicate so well together is why I went with that. So this, I do not just use like this. Now, the 8 has a smart connector on it, so I could use the smart Apple keyboards. I don't know about you, I'm balling on a budget. So I got the budget iPad, which to me, you get so much bang for your buck, especially if you use the 126 gig or whatever I got. If you get the 32, yeah, it's kind of frustrating, but this specific model I have loved. I've only had it for about a week now, but I love using this so much. Now, I don't just rock it naked all the time, although one of the things that I love is that it's an iconic look. The basic budget line iPads haven't really changed their like body shape, body style in forever, so it's an iconic look, and they just look so sleek and so classy when you rock them naked. But I had to team that up with the case, because I don't know about you, I don't like to roll naked. So I teamed my iPad up with just a basic spec case. So it's a folio case, it folds down, so if I'm watching videos, or if I'm editing or whatever, typing, doing whatever, doing web browsing, anything, I can do it from right here. And so super cheap case, costs you 20 bucks, boom. You got a great case. It's going to give your iPad protection, because I don't know about you, I worry about breaking devices, as well as give you a great setup for when you're consuming content or creating content. It also covers your camera really well with a little magnetic thing. So if I need to take a picture, which is not why I bought this, I can do that, just if I want to scan a document or anything like that. But then you would ask, so what do you use? Because typing on the screen always sucks on an iPad. On anything, it's just rough. So what do you use? Well, I went a budget option with that as well. I just picked up an Anker Bluetooth keyboard that's compact. It runs about the size of the case, and yeah, it's not part of the case. And I know that for some people that frustrates them. For me, that makes it better in my opinion, because I don't always have to have the keyboard. I don't like it when the keyboard's sitting on the screen. That stuff just bugs me for some reason. So this goes into my bag, the iPad goes in, and then if there's any time that I don't need the keyboard and I'm just going to like read notes or whatever, I don't have to have that keyboard there. That way, the other reason I got an iPad is so that when I preach or do lessons, I can do it from my iPad and just read. So that I'm not killing a ton of trees and all that good stuff. Our lead pastor has done that for years. For some reason, I just didn't, and now I'm kind of jumping on board with that. I've tried, but now with everything that's new to iPads, it makes it so much easier to do. And tablets in general, not just iPads. That's just what I went with. But so yeah, just a little Anker keyboard. It's super responsive. Yeah, the keys are a little mushy, but again, 20 bucks. So for 40 bucks, I have a whole setup that I'm in love with. I absolutely love using it. It's actually lappable, so I can use it on my lap just because this is so small. And then you get command keys as well. Anyways, just a sweet little keyboard to tag on with my iPad, so when I need to type, I can, and it just works so great. I'm really enjoying the process. But if you know anything about the new Apple technology, you know a lot about the Apple Pencil. Now, this is not an Apple Pencil. Again, like I said earlier, I'm balling on a budget. I ain't trying to buy the $250 folio keyboard case, and I'm not trying to spend $100 on an Apple Pencil. So I did a lot of research when I first got it and kind of stumbled across like budget Stylus that work just like an Apple Pencil. This thing is amazing. It's literally the best stylus I've ever used. I hate using Stylus because it always just seems so janky to me, but this thing is just amazing. Whether I'm writing notes, whether I'm just using it almost like a mouse in some ways, it's just amazing. Not getting fingerprints on your screen because screens are just fingerprint magnets, but this thing is amazing. It's the KXT. I followed a link on YouTube, the video that did it, to get this one. This one does have the tilt sensitivity, so you get the thickness of like if you were like writing or painting or whatever on its side versus like tip down. But I absolutely love the use of a really high quality stylus. It's really changed kind of the way that I use things. and even the way that I'm taking notes. So I'm really excited next Sunday to try to take notes on the iPad to see how that goes. I'm just going to try to use the Notes app on my iPad, but for now, this is amazing. So this whole setup runs together and just does amazing. My MacBook talks to my iPad talks to my phone. They all talk to each other. There's a ton of different features that you can use, and then just adding this to take notes and add and highlight in what I do is amazing. So that's really how I work, but there's one more thing I want to show you. I don't know about you, but when I'm taking content, I hate wires around my neck now. And using the new iPhones, they just don't have a headphone jack. So I have AirPods. Now, again, I know, Apple fanboy, I get it. I'm not. These were a birthday gift. They're just the Apple AirPod Gen 1s. And here's why I love these things. So about a year ago, I lost them in the snow for 2 weeks. So my case doesn't close, like totally, it's kind of beat up because it fell in the snow, they got ran over, but guess what? These bad boys still work. I have heard of other Bluetooth earbuds that people have used lost in the same situation, and then when they get them, they don't work. Amazingly, these things just still work, and it's incredible. I've had them for really close to when they first came out, and I absolutely love these things. I've been asked why I want to upgrade to the Pros. Well, one, I don't like to spend the money. I just, on tech, like, it's really hard for me to spend a ton of money. We did on these for a birthday gift. So if my wife was to get me the Pros, like, I'm not going to complain, but I don't really see the point. I'm actually looking for over-the-ear headphones, and Beats are the best ones, but I'm not willing to spend the money. So that being said, these things are just incredible. They've lasted. I love the functionality of being able to tap, call for Siri, do my thing with Siri that I need to do, and as well, they act as a great Bluetooth. So I killed 2 birds with 1 stone, and I've used Bluetooth earpieces because my car doesn't have it, and they just don't have the same connectivity. Sometimes my voice seems really far away, the person seems really far away. With these, I've never had any complaints. I absolutely love using these. And they connect to my computer, to my iPad, and to my phone just so easily that I just don't know why you wouldn't use them if you have them. Now, I get it, they're expensive. I don't like to spend money, but this really rounds out my workflow. So when I'm at work, I normally have one of these in, so if I get a phone call, I don't have to hold my arm up to my phone the whole time. It's just really easy. Plus, I can consume content from my phone or from my iPad while working wirelessly, so there's no problems there. But all this together just works so great. It makes my job really easy to do, and with the multitasking on the iPad, it's so easy now. So I find myself a lot of times, if I don't have to take my computer, I just use this, and it works so great. So that's how I work. I basically work from an iPad right now when my wife's at home, and I work from an older MacBook when she's not. So thank you for joining me along with her. I know this is really weird and kind of off the cuff, but I wanted to put out a video this week before I leave. I have content coming about my trip, but I really want to show you kind of what I work with. For my trip, I'm leaving this home so that my wife can still work from home and follow the schedule. But I will be taking my iPad, my stylus, my keyboard, and that's what I'm going to be working from. That's what I'm going to be studying from. That's what my notes are going to be on. That's what I'm going to be taking notes on. That's what I'll have game rules on. Everything that I do will be right here, and I'm really excited to see how it lasts for a whole week just using it. Maybe I'll give you an update at the end. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button and the little bell to know when I post. I'm really trying to be more active, especially in 2021 here on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Have a great week.